Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. Now, the last three videos have all featured routes making their debut on this channel, and this is sort of going to be continuing with that sort of current trend. That's despite the fact that you look at the route that's chosen, East Coast Main Line London to Peterborough, and you may be thinking, well, we've had plenty of videos using that route, and you'd be right, we have. But we're going to be using an add-on to this route. So yeah, we will actually be starting at Moorgate. Now, that station does not come with the route when you buy the DLC. This has had an extension added to it. It's an extension from, I am pretty sure this is an extension from BackDated Train Sim. I'll double check it, but I'm sure it was them. If it's not them, it's DPS, but I think it's BackDated Train Sim. By the time this video's up, it will be in the description with the download link, so yeah, you'll know for certain. So yeah, we are starting at a station which you couldn't access in this route DLC without this extension installed. So yeah, a part of this run will be, new as far as this channel goes. So yeah, departing from Moorgate, our destination is Welwyn Garden City, simply because that is the furthest destination I can choose if we are starting at Moorgate. So for the first sort of 4 stations, we are effectively an underground train. Now, speaking of which, our train for this run, we are in a class 387. I really couldn't choose which train to use for this particular run. It was actually Jim Plays who suggested the 387. I had a look at it, and it turned out to be a pretty good choice. So, yeah, we'll use that. It's in the Great Northern livery, which, yeah, 387s do not have an abundance of good liveries. With one exception, it's white with a bit of colour somewhere, but yeah, that's it. It's quite a short train, it's only a 4-car, but we are very much off-peak, so that's to be expected. Now, as for the specifics, it is winter, it is overcast, so yeah, it's a pretty miserable day out. It's 1:30 PM, so yeah, very much off-peak. So yeah, that is the setup. Let's get this up and running. And here we are. So, right, let's get the train set up. Doesn't take a great deal of setting up here. Actually, I'll tell a lie, I think it does need a little bit of setting up because Right, lights. I'm trying to remember where the lights are. Oh, they're up at the top. Okay, well, let's start by getting this sorted out. We don't want drivers only operation. Now, I can't remember the route code for Welwyn Garden City. So I think if I put 9997, yeah, it's a special, that'll do. So, right, got the time up. So now the lights, in fact, I think the lights have already been sorted. Day running, auto, yeah, everything there is fine. Now, because we are starting underground, we actually need to start with the DC system, and we have AC set up. So we will lower the pantograph, and we'll change to DC. And yeah, lower the third rail shoes, that is down. Okay, that's everything set up. We just now need to wait for the power to come back on. Here it is, you can hear it. We can turn the driver's DRA off because, yeah, that is fine. Now, we go to the exterior view. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess because, yeah, it's quite a small, cramped area. So here we are in Moorgate station. And I think actually they've done a pretty good job of recreating this because, I mean, you look at it, it looks like you're standing in a large public carsey. And yeah, that's pretty much what these old run-down former underground stations are very much like. Including the stench that emanates from these places. So yeah, they've got that spot on. Let's let the passengers on board. Now, when I came up with the idea of doing this run, I was going to use the 313, partly because this part of the, effectively this is part of the East Coast Main Line, and when they first proposed this sort of extension to it using, you know, or running to Moorgate, the 313 was developed specifically for that role. That's why it has dual voltage. It was the first train to have it. Now the problem with the 313 when it's running in DC mode is its top speed is very, very low. It's 30 mph. And I thought, oh, that's far too slow. As it is, it turns out that's not too bad because the max speed on this underground section is 30 mph. Anyway, we've had the signal from the guard. Let's get underway. So 10 mph limit as we leave Moorgate. As we are going through the underground sections, for the vast majority of the time, you just cannot see a single fucking thing. So we've got a few lights and that around here. Once we pass this section, it's pretty much total darkness until we reach any of the stations. I mean, look, you cannot see, you can't see a thing. Now, I don't know if this part of the run is driven like the underground. So once we went past the 30, once the that 30 marker went past the cab, we could then start accelerating to 30. Or if it is still you know, run like these standard trains where the 30 marker has to pass the entire train before you can accelerate to 30. I won't take any chances. We'll yeah, have the entire train passing. So as you can see, the first stop is Old Street. I've been to Old Street in London on numerous occasions. Not exactly the yeah, it's not exactly a wonderful part of London, but Yeah, I have been there on numerous occasions. So, here we are at Old Street. Again, yeah, very much your typical one-time underground station. Looking, yeah, like another public carsy. It's, yeah, it is pretty grotty in these stations. I think we've only got a couple more such stations. We've got Essex Road is next. Then I think we have Highbury and Islington. I think that's the last one of the underground section. And when we emerge from the underground part, we stop at Drayton Park, and that's where we have to change from running DC to running AC. I forgot to mention we will be stopping at all stations. But, you know, a service like this, and especially in this particular train, it's to be expected. I made the right balls up of that. So yeah, Essex Road is coming up next. This is the longest gap between stations here, the one between Old Street and Essex Road. So I'm pretty sure this part of the, I mean really it's part of the underground network we're on, used to be part of the Northern Line. And yeah, I don't think Northern Line trains still run on this section now. It's now purely used by, yeah, the regular services. I've no idea what trains actually use this now. Possibly, it's probably either the 700 or the 717, but I don't know for sure. One thing I do know is that our 387 that we're in, these never ran on this this part. So yeah, 25 mph speed limit as we approach Essex Road. So we'll just do some light braking at the last second to get our speed down to 25. But as you can see, once we leave Essex Road, we are back up to 30 again. So we're now fine for the 25 limit. Want to make sure we've got the entire train on the platform, which we do. So, yep, here we are then at Essex Road. I mean, every time I see the name, I assume, well, does that mean this is the A13? But I doubt it is actually. I mean, I'm sure it did get its name because it ran to, yeah, it goes to Essex. No, it's just in the same way that the Old Kent Road got its name. But the Old Kent Road is rather more well known than Essex Road. I'm pretty sure the Old Kent Road doesn't have an underground station, or indeed any kind of station. It's one of those places where it's constantly being proposed, Every time there's talk about extending the Bakerloo line, which happens sort of like, you know, almost once a week it feels like. Yeah, Old Kent Road is always one of the stations that's proposed for the Bakerloo extension. So yeah, Highbury and Islington, which we're coming up to, this is the last of the underground ones. So Drayton Park there, yeah, we are back on the surface once we are at that station. But even though it's on the surface, it is still part of the extension to this route. It's not, we don't actually rejoin the proper East Coast Main Line until actually a couple of stops on the surface. So yeah, again we've got the whole train on the platform. Now we're now the other side here. So this is Highbury and Islington. I mean, can you imagine during the 80s and 90s how busy this station must have been on match days? Jesus Christ. That was closing. So we've got a fairly steep downhill section that we are approaching, and then it very quickly goes uphill, and it's every bit as steep going uphill as it is down. And that's where we exit the underground section. And pretty much once we exit the underground section, we are straight into Drayton Park Station. So we are 1 in 60 downhill. And once the entire train's on it, you'll see our speed start to pick up at quite a rate. That's why I'm only coasting along at 17 mph at the moment, just to make sure we don't start speeding as we reach the uphill part. So yeah, we're now on the uphill section. 1 in 50 uphill. And of course we emerge to find that the weather is absolutely horrendous. So you can see we now have the overhead wires as well as the third rail beneath us. In fact, yeah, I've overshot the station quite badly there. Well, the first carriage, yeah, they could have got out of these doors, so they should be fine. Anyway, let's get the power sorted out. So we need to switch to AC. There we go, and then put the pantograph up. There it is. Once that light is lit, pantographs are now up. See if we can spot it. Yeah, there we are. And we can hear the power running through the train. So, yeah, we're all good to go. Let's not do that. Fucking thing. Yeah, right. Because I pressed the wrong epoxy key, I've now got to let's go through this again. Alright. Route code is already in. Actually, driver ID was already in, but there we are. Right. Okay, there we go. Right, we're back up and running. Right, onwards. So we have 30 mph limit as we leave Drayton Park. And goes up to 35. So Finsbury Park there, yeah, it's certainly on the East Coast Main Line, obviously. Oh, timed that pretty well. But yeah, we are still on the extended, the extension to the route here. We're not actually on the original line yet. We are very close to it. But that 55 there, that's where we rejoin it. So we're still on a steep 1 in 50 climb. But with the station so close by, I don't mind the fact that we are losing some speed, even though we are in notch 1. And now that it's leveled out, so yeah, Finsbury Park here, obviously, yeah, it is on the East Coast Main Line, but the section that we're currently on, you can't reach without this route extension that we're using. There we go. So, yeah, here we are. The doors are open. So, yeah, the lines here, yeah, that's where we would be if we had started at King's Cross. We would not be on this part here. I don't quite know what this platform here next to us, what purpose it serves. Don't really see any reason for any passengers wanting to get off that side, which is probably why the doors for that side don't open here. So, as we leave Finsbury Park, Welwyn Garden City is now just over 17.5 miles away. I'm hoping we will get the chance to take this this train up to full speed. The Class 387 is the fastest Electrostar. In fact, I think it's the fastest of all the flat front emus in service. It can do 110 mph. You've just seen the 319 go by there. So we're into a 30 limit as we cross here. And yep, here is where we join the East Coast Main Line. And now we are on the section that, yeah, we would have even if we didn't have the that extension part to it. So we can now go up to 55 and soon 60, but we do have Haringey station coming up. So this does mean that we have missed the Emirates Stadium. Isn't that terrible? I've also just realised I've done all this run and I didn't have the door open, the window open. So yeah, it's very quiet. And we are approaching Haringey very fast. I think I need to slam the brakes onto step 3 straight away. The Haringey is quite a short platform. Obviously you have no problem getting the entire train on there, but there we go. Right, so while passengers are yeah, getting on and off, we'll open the windows. There we go. And let's take a look. So yeah, here we are at Haringey. So as I was saying, yeah, the Class 387, fastest Electrostar, fastest front-faced or flat-front. I keep saying front-faced. What the fuck does that mean? Fastest flat-fronted EMU. And I have been on the 387s on multiple occasions actually, because I've had to do London to Heathrow and obviously back again on numerous occasions. And every time I've done that trip, I always took the Heathrow Express. And back then, because this was before the Elizabeth line, well, before they even started to build it, let alone before it was up and running. Yeah, back then, yeah, the Heathrow Express was by far the fastest and best way of getting there, and it was the 387 that they used for it. I don't know for certain, but I think the 387 was built very specifically for the Heathrow Express service, which would certainly explain why it can do 110 mph. I mean, it's, you know, it's a flat front EMU, but it's really sort of straying into high-speed train territory with its, you know, 110 mph top speed. You know, it's as fast as a Class 90, and it has much better acceleration than a Class 90. So here is Hornsey Station. So, yep. Hornsey right here. Now, I do have a feeling that, yeah, we're not going to see a huge number of AI trains. You can just see there's a Class 700 in the distance there. And we have had a 319 go by. Oh, and here's a 180. Okay, so I take back what I said about there won't be that many AI trains. In fact, we got a good number of them. So starting this run on that extension has done nothing to diminish the amount of AI trains, which I am very pleased about. This is already by far the farthest I've ever done on this route. Prior to this, I did have one test go when I went from Moorgate to Drayton Park, but yeah, that was as far as I went. And it looks like it is going to keep us in the slow lanes, so we're not going to get the chance to go up to 110, which is it's a shame, no doubt about it. I'd really like to do a run where I can really get this thing to stretch its legs. So there's a 319 off in, you know, way over to the right there. And a 365 with it at that one is in the yeah, Network Southeast livery. So we are approaching Ali Pali. So it's a good sized platform at Alexandra Palace, so I had no problems. Like, we're in a 4-car train. We were never going to have any problems fitting, you know, the train on any of these stations that we're stopping at. So, yeah, because of where we are, we can't quite see the Alexandra Palace transmitter. Actually, yes, you can just about see it. It's there behind these houses. So yeah, this is Ali Pally. I mean, it's Muswell Hill, I think, is the actual area. But I'm sure there is a Muswell Hill station as well. Obviously, it's not on this line, but I'm pretty sure there is one. I think that's from where Alan Sugar is from, isn't it? Muswell Hill. I'm sure I heard that somewhere. Anyway, I forgot to do the return, yeah, guard signal, so we were moving before I even signalled him, but oh well. So we have speed increase in just under half a mile up to 75. I have to say the wintry conditions and that are having absolutely no effect on this train at all. It has great wheel slip protection. It also helps that yeah, it's somehow able to put up with being driven as roughshod as I always do. We're not going to be able to get up to 75 yet, but I think once we leave New Southgate we'll probably be able to. I think we are fast approaching the area where these stations become, yeah, a lot fewer in number. So, here we are then, it is New Southgate. So, I've no idea what the next station is. It could be New Barnet. New Haircut, as it is probably known outside of London. Oh, yeah, okay, you've got some serious wheel slip there. And still, so the wintry conditions are now starting to have an effect. Okay, yeah, we're alright in notch 4 now. Yeah, it's a very quiet train, the 387. I can't help thinking that is at least partly down to the fact that Armstrong Powerhouse audio is so often rather quiet. One of the reasons why I keep downloading so many audio enhancements for Armstrong Powerhouse locos. Yeah, I got them for the 800 series, the 455, the 313, 317, 318, and there are more to come, and it's because they are needed. Armstrong Powerhouse audio is just too quiet. So anyway, it's Oakley Park that's next, and then it's New Barnet, so I wasn't too far off for once. We are coming in, well, I say we're coming a little bit fast, but chances are we were coming in at the ideal speed, but it's faster than I'm used to, so I'm pretty sure actually we could come in at about 50 mph and still be able to brake absolutely fine. Especially with how good step 3 braking is. The passengers will probably feel as though the train has stopped by slamming into a brick wall, but nevertheless we'll still stop okay. So this is Oakley Park. Doesn't look like too bad a part of North London. So Welwyn Garden City is now 12 miles away. So off we go. So you can go straight into notch 3, but yeah, I've got to wait before putting it in a notch 4. We've got to be doing close to 30 mph before I can really put it in a notch 4, otherwise it's just wheel slip galore. And yeah, if you've seen even just a handful of my videos, you'll know that I like being able to put the train up to full power ASAP. Yeah, it's a very short hop to New Barnet, next station. The fact we're stopping on this side really does make me think that yeah, we are being kept onto the slow line, which is to be expected, I guess, considering we started at Moorgate. You're not going to be getting any HSTs starting there, so yeah, I certainly can't criticise it for doing that. But most of the time I criticise it for not doing that, you know, not keeping us in the slow lines. Anyway, so this is New Barnet. Always had a bit of a soft spot for Barnet actually. It seems like quite a nice part of North London. Certainly better than Wembley next to it. And of course Barnet was the last football team that the legendary Jimmy Greaves played for. unquestionably the greatest striker that England ever had. Okay, so next station is pretty close by as well. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, I know it's certainly not very far. Hadleywood, there we go. Start bringing our speed down a bit now. I think Hadleywood is that station that's sandwiched between the two tunnels, isn't it? Yeah, it is, but the second tunnel is, yeah, a hell of a lot shorter than the first. So here we are then, Hadleywood. The stations go. It's as boring and featureless as so many other modern ones. I mean, you compare this station, I mean, this is an accurate station. It's not like it's, you know, been a crappy job done on it. But you compare this to the stations that were, you know, on the Dorset coastline or the, you know, West of England main line that I did in the last couple of videos. Just very dull and dreary sort of station design, but that's the modern way, you know, make them look like shit. I forgot to do the yeah, return signal again. So I think we've got a bit of a gap now to the next station. I don't know what that next station is. Potter's Bar. Can we get ourselves up to 75 mph? This is already the fastest we've ever been. We're over 70 now. There we go, made it to 75. 75 and a half. So, yeah, here we are at Potter's Bar. Very much on the fringes of Greater London here, but it don't look too bad. The fact that we are sort of on the fringes of North London and Hertfordshire sort of suggests to me that it's a snobby place. Okay, so I don't know what is next. Will it be Hatton next? Or Hatfield, I should say. Nope, it's Brookman's Park. So 55 limit as we approach Brookman's Park, which also looks like quite a small station, but again, we'll have no issues getting the whole train on there. Okay, we need to we got up to 71 there. Oh no, I've already done over 75, haven't I? So stations are still coming along at a pretty regular rate. I thought it would start thinning out a bit now, but clearly not. So this being quite a small station, I think yeah, we're going to need step 3 for most of this. But yeah, managed to stop. Well, may not be in the exact right spot, but we've got the whole train on the platform, and that's what matters. Yeah, seat rears are just fine. So this is Brookman's Park. Couldn't tell you a thing about it. But surely by now we are actually in Hertfordshire, we're not still Greater London. The 319 passes us by. So next station is quite close. I can't remember what it's called. But I do know it's not Welwyn Hatfield. Or Hatfield. Welwyn Green, here we are. So we are now back into the 75 zone. Don't think we're going to get the chance to get up to 75 again. There's another fairly short platform here. You should still have no problem stopping on here. You know, not in a 4-car train. Yeah, absolutely fine. So, yeah, this is Welwyn Green. Again, couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. Don't know anything about this place. But, yeah. Train is probably not the exact spot that it's supposed to stop at, but it's good enough so that everyone can get on and off. That's good enough for me. So yeah, it is Hatfield coming up next. I am sure that is the penultimate stop. Can we get up to our fastest yet? Yeah, there we go. 75.9, we cannot go faster than that without breaking speed limits. Yeah, quite a decent sized platform here. Easily stop here just fine. So, yeah, Hatfield station. I'm pretty sure Hatfield and Welwyn Hatfield are the same town. If they're not, they are so close to each other they've practically merged into one. So onwards to what I am pretty confident is the final stop at Welwyn Garden City. So a very slow approach to the station. Only 25 mph speed limit there. I mean, as it is, we would have started braking before then anyway. I wouldn't have braked as much as, you know, down to only 25 then, but we certainly wouldn't be doing near 75, which we are now. So we are going uphill 1 in 200, that's why our speed is coming down quite quickly. Got no real problem with that. We need the speed to come down anyway because of this this speed limit reduction. I wonder if that's why that 25 is there. Are we going over points? Looks like 321 over there. Yep, it is. It does look like we are going over points, so it might, oh no, I was just going to say it might put us at somewhere as a terminus with buffers, but no, you can clearly see on the route display that's not the case. But it is taking us to, yeah, a red aspect signal, so this is certainly as far as we are going. And there we are. So that was Moorgate to Welwyn Garden City in the class 387. And yeah, it was a good run. 387 is a great drive. So you pretty much any run, as long as it's one that, you know, a 387 is, you know, a good choice for, then it is going to go well. But yeah, this route in particular is a good route for it, despite the fact that the 387 never actually did this route. The extension, you know, that allowed us to start at Moorgate, I mean, it's not earth-shattering, it's not going to absolutely transform your game, but I do like, you know, having the, you know, additional options as far as, you know, where I can have, you know, start and finishing points for any of these drives. So, you know, the more the merrier. And I am pretty sure it is a backdated train sim route. And I mean, it's alright, it's certainly not up there as good as, you know, their 1066 line and any of the other lines of theirs that I've driven, but it's still absolutely good enough. I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're talking about an underground line. You know, the stations, which all looked pretty well done, they had that, you know, whole public carsy sort of like feel to them, which those old underground stations absolutely had. And you know, between the stations, you're not going to see a great deal, you know. So yeah, they put in as much detail in that as they could, and you know, for a lot of the run, they couldn't really add a great deal. So I would still say it's a great addition, and I'm pretty sure you don't need very much in the way of as far as the requirements for that route go. Obviously you need the London to Peterborough run. I think you may need a couple of others, but that's really about it. Doesn't ask too much. So it's still a route addition that I recommend. So there we go, that is that video done. Only one speeding error as well. I mean, for me that's fantastic, but I did have a couple that were completely clear. I was hoping this would be another one, and it very nearly was. Anyway, yes, so that is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.